Dear students, in the second module of chapter Motion and Time, I will discuss about time. In our daily life, we make measurements all the time. A carpenter measures the length of the table he is making. A vegetable seller measures the mass of vegetables. A person at a petrol pump measures the volume of petrol. A doctor measures your body temperature when you are ill, and you measure time so that you reach school in time. Time is measured in schools so that each period begins at fixed time. Thus, measurement is important in our daily life. Measurement is defined as the comparison of an unknown quantity with a known standard quantity of the same kind. Quantities like length, mass, time, temperature, etc., that can be measured are called physical quantities. Long ago, people used the foot, the footstep, the hand span, or the arm to measure length. But these units of measurement are unreliable because they vary from person to person. There was a need for units of measurement which could be uniformly used by everyone. Such units are called standard units. In 1960, the General Conference of Weights and Measures recommended that a common system of measurement should be used all over the world. This system was called the SI system. In SI system of units, the length is measured in meter, the mass is measured in kilogram, the time is measured in second, and the temperature is measured in Kelvin. Before we discuss unit of time, let us define time. Newton defined time as the interval between two events. Therefore, time may be defined as the interval between two successive events. Making accurate measurements of length and mass is relatively simpler than measurement of time. Anything that occurs or appears at regular intervals can help us to measure time. You know that the Earth completes one rotation on its axis in almost 24 hours. This happens regularly over and over again. It is because of this rotation that we see sunrise, change its position during the day, and finally set. Perhaps the earliest method of telling time was by seeing the position of the time in the sky. Since the earliest days of civilization, the gap between two successive noons is taken as unit of time and is called a day or a solar day. The solar day is divided into 24 equal parts and each part is called an hour. One hour is further divided into 60 equal parts and each part is called a minute. 1 minute is further divided into 60 equal parts and each part is called a second. The second is considered as SI unit of time. Further, bigger units of time are year, decade, century, and millennium. The early man used devices like the water clock, the sand clock, and the sundial for measuring time. The sundial was used to record time in the days of Alexander the Great, 300 BC. The decrease and then increase in the length of shadow during the daytime was used in sundials to measure time. The sundial is placed in open sky in such a way that no man points in the north-south direction. The shadow of no man on a circular scale shows the time at some particular moment. Sundial is a device used for measuring time by measuring the length of shadow during the daytime. A triangular plate fitted vertically on the horizontal surface of a sundial is called gnomon. The main drawback in the use of sundials is the fact that they can be used only in the presence of sunlight and not at night or on cloudy or rainy days. Some historical sundials built by Maharaja Jai Singh II, a great Indian astronomer, architect and mathematician, still exists in India. He built five sundials known as Jantar Mantras, four of which are situated in Ujjain, Varanasi, Jaipur, and Delhi, while the one at Mathura exists no more. The largest sundial in Jaipur can measure time up to an accuracy of 2 seconds. Romans used a sand clock. It works on the principle that all the sand from the upper chamber falls into the lower chamber in a fixed interval of time. The fixed interval of time was the unit of measurement of time commonly called hour, and that's why the sand clock was also known as hourglass. As the upper chamber emptied completely, the hourglass was turned upside down so as to further record time. An interesting phrase often used in the English language is the sands of time are running out. It is easy to realize that this phrase stemmed out of the use of the sand clock as a method of measuring time. The water clock is the earliest timepiece on record. We know that equal amounts of water will take the same time in flowing through a given opening. This idea was used in designing a water clock, and by attaching suitable arrangements of gears, wheels, etc., the clock was given many interesting shapes. Water clock is a device used to measure time which works on the principle of inward or outward regulated flow of water. It is interesting to note that the water clocks were in use in North Africa till the early part of the 20th century. Earlier, they were a common method of measuring time in the Middle East. They were being used by the ancient Greeks around the year 325 BC. Having learnt about units of time, we need to measure intervals of time which are much shorter than a day or an hour. Clocks and watches are most common time measuring devices. All of them make use of some periodic motion. One of the most common periodic motion is the motion of simple pendulum. The motion of simple pendulum as a timing device has an interesting story. Galileo Galilei, a famous Italian scientist, was once attending a service in a local church. He noticed that a lamp suspended from the ceiling of the church was moving slowly from one side to the other side with a metallic chain and was describing a periodic motion. He was surprised to note that his pulse beats the same number times of times during an interval in which the suspended lamp completes one oscillation. Galileo experimented with various kinds of pendulums and made the following conclusions. The pendulum of a given length always takes the same time to complete one oscillation. The time period of the pendulums of given length is independent of the mass of the bob. The time period of a pendulum increases with the increase in length and decreases with the decrease in length of the pendulum. These observations led to the invention of pendulum clocks or the clocks which were driven by the periodic motion of some other device. A simple pendulum consists of a small metallic bob tied to a spring and suspended from a fixed point. The bob is made to swing in the to and fro direction. It is observed that bob completes one to and fro motion called oscillation in exactly the same time. In other words, it repeats the oscillation in equal intervals of times. One complete to and fro movement of a pendulum is called an oscillation. The maximum displacement of the pendulum from mean position is called its amplitude. Time period is the time taken to complete one oscillation. Time period increases with the length of the pendulum and vice versa. It does not depend upon mass of the oscillating body. Number of oscillations completed in 1 second by the oscillating body is called its frequency. As I told you, time period is the time taken by the oscillating body to complete one oscillation. Its SI unit is second. The formula of the time period is time period equals to time taken to complete oscillations upon number of oscillations. The earlier clocks were not very accurate. Substantial research paved the way for modern watches. A pendulum of about 25 centimeter length takes exactly 1 second for one oscillation. The pendulum in a clock swings continuously under the action of a wound up spring and controls the movement of its hands. Nowadays we use a wristwatch or quartz clock. A mechanical wristwatch is provided with a balance wheel which oscillates like a pendulum. In quartz clock, fast vibrating crystals of quartz oscillate at a very precise rate and hence measure time more accurately. Digital watches don't have any hands for hour, minute, or second. Instead, they display time in digits. For sporting events, a stopwatch is used to measure very short interval of times. Timers fitted in microwave, ovens, and other kitchen gadgets are also clocks. These days, electronic watches are used in which the time is displayed either by the movements of hands of watch or on a screen in the form of digits. Digital watches are also available in the form of stopwatches. For measuring short time intervals in athletics, another kind of watch is used, which is an improved form of a wristwatch. It can be started or stopped by pressing a button and measures time up to 1 upon 10th of a second. For accurate measurement of time, scientists use an atomic clock which is based on the vibrations of atoms. Atoms vibrate very regularly and such clocks have an accuracy level of losing or gaining 1 second in more than 3000 years. Now we will discuss few problems. First problem is a pendulum clock oscillates 40 times in 4 seconds. Find its time period. I repeat, a pendulum oscillates 40 times in 4 seconds. Find its time period. In this question, number of oscillations are given to be 40 and time taken to complete oscillations is 4 seconds. On substituting these values in the formula of time period, which is time period equals to time taken to complete oscillations upon number of oscillations, we get 4 upon 40. On solving this, we get time period to be 0.1 second. Second problem is a simple pendulum takes 32 seconds to complete 20 oscillations. What is the time period of the pendulum? In this problem, number of oscillations are 20 and time taken to complete oscillation is 32 seconds. On substituting these values in the formula of time period, which is time period equals to time taken to complete oscillations upon number of oscillations, we get 32 divided by 20. On solving this, we get time period to be 1.6 second. Here are two questions for you to solve. First question is, a pendulum takes 16 seconds to complete 80 oscillations. What is the time period of the pendulum? Second question is, name some ancient devices used to measure time. See you in the next module. Till then, solve these questions. Try to find the answers of these questions. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.